What's going on, everybody? My name is Gav, and I got a very special video for you today. And what makes this video so special is that today is my birthday. And it's not just any birthday. This is my 30th birthday.
30th birthday.
Yeah, I know. I'm an old man now. My 20s are gone. It's literally all downhill from here. And honestly, I was kind of terrified of this birthday for actually pretty much like the entirety of like my 20s and probably even like my late. I always thought that like by the time you were 30, like certain things had to be accomplished. You had to be in a certain place. I was like, I don't know. I always thought like it's such an old, crazy age. So I decided to create this video, which is the 20 things that I learned in my 20s. Number one is that happiness is internal, not external. And what this means is that you can't look for like external sources to kind of make you happy. Really, like it really kind of comes from the inside. So it's like you're thinking like, oh, like it's got to be my job. It's got to be like a relationship. It's got to be like, you know, being in this place in my life is all like your external sources that are going to make you happy. That's great. And like, yeah, sure, they will definitely play a role in happiness. But if you kind of focus on how you yourself internally perceive happiness and how you like choose and only like kind of choose to be happy, you're gonna realize pretty quick that like, if you focus on you and your core shit first, and happiness really does come from the inside first. Number two is understand that worrying about what people think honestly affects you more than it affects them. Like, here's the thing. People really don't, I don't know, give a shit. Honestly, like most people don't give a shit. Like it's kind of just that simple. Like if you're constantly worrying about what other people think and how they're perceiving stuff, you're honestly just doing more harm to you than you're actually like fixing in a way. Like I know it sounds kind of dumb, but like honestly, worrying about what other people think honestly only brings you down. You might think that, oh my god, like if I like, I don't know, if I make a YouTube video or if I like, I don't know, decide to shave my head and or like whatever it is, you'll think that people care. And you're like, oh my god, like what are they thinking? Oh my god, like I shouldn't do this because of what people might think. And guess what? They honestly don't care that much. Yeah, will they comment on stuff? Sure. Who cares though? Third tip is to sample, experience, taste everything you possibly can. There's really only one way to figure out what it is that you like or what it is that you value, or even really just like to test what you like and test what you value. I mean, like you might think you know what you want to do, but until you actually kind of like go out there and start trying and pursuing and knowing what it's like, well, I mean, it might not really be what's perfect for you. Like me pursuing programming and starting to build apps and doing game dev and all that stuff. I mean, this was not something I thought I wanted to do. I mean, I thought I wanted to go to med school. I thought I wanted to be a cop. I thought like all these other things, but it was when I started kind of tasting, experiencing, and actually like I don't know, kind of like feeling things out that I really actually understood what it is that I wanted to do. Number four is to think long-term, not short-term. The decisions you make in your 20s are like lay out the path and the foundation for your life in your 30s. Like if you just don't care about physical fitness, for example, or you don't care about saving money, or you don't care about investing, or you don't care about learning, or you don't care about working on yourself, or you don't care about dealing with your emotional baggage, I don't know, whatever it is, we all got shit for, you know, we all got it. But if you're only focusing on the very short-term problems in your life and saying, okay, you know, future me has got this covered, well, guess what? Receipts are going to come, and those receipts are going to come in your 30s, and you're going to look back and say, man, like I really wish I spent time in my 20s working on this instead of working on it now, or I wish I spent time learning about myself, or I don't know, whatever it is, whatever you do in your 20s, man, those receipts and that bill. Number five is learn the value of time. So time is one of those resources that when you're younger, you don't really think much of. It's kind of like you have all this like roadway ahead of you, and like it does, like it just doesn't, I don't know, for me personally, it just never clicked that time is this like literally one of these limited resources that no matter what, you can never get back. And so to learn the value of it and to, again, not waste your time doing stuff you don't want to do, or waste your time with people you don't want to spend it with, but really value that resource and really prioritize it. Number six is be flexible with your goals. Now, I don't want to say like, oh yeah, like if you don't achieve your goals, or like if the goal becomes too hard, you know, just like turf it and give up. No, what it means is that a goal you may have when you're 21 saying, okay, by 25, I got to have a house, a kid, you know, I got to be a millionaire, whatever it is, whatever that goal kind of looks like. Or if you're like, okay, by the time I'm 28, I'm going to be X position in a company, or I'm going to start my own business, or whatever it is. Yeah, those are great goals to have, and you want to kind of build your way towards them, but to be flexible with those and realize that maybe what you thought was a reasonably attainable path to get to it may not have been it. And to understand that sometimes that goal needs to now be stretched from 4 years to 5 years to 10 years to 12, just it needs to be pushed a little longer, and maybe you need to work a little longer at it. And to not beat yourself up. Like, achieving goals is not easy. And that's the reason why they're called goals. It's not like, oh, like my goal is to eat breakfast today and I did. Like, that's not a goal. That's just something you do. Goals aren't easy. They're not supposed to be easy. If they're easy, then they're not goals. It's kind of that simple. So to be flexible with them and understand that you sometimes need to give yourself more time to achieve and revise them and kind of work with them. Make it like an active goal you're always going for. Number 7 is understand that having a few good friends is a million times better than having a ton of okay friends. Like, in your 20s, a lot of things change. Like, your social circle will shrink, and it's no fault on your own or other people's fault. Just the reality is that in your 20s, man, a lot of big things are happening. Like, you're starting a new job, like you're not in school anymore. Or if you are, like, maybe your friends aren't in school anymore. Or like you move to a new city, you like start a family, you get married. Like, it's not the same when you're in high school or college or university, when you're in this all same little bubble together. You're all experiencing very similar things, and you can have this giant group of people you hang out with because you're all kind of experiencing the same things. You're all in together in a way. But when you're in your 20s, like, people go out on their different paths, they go in their different directions. And so you're going to find that having that small core group of people that mean the most to you is going to mean way more than having a giant group of people. Number 8 is see projects through. Literally, my 20s are so full of these like half-ass projects I started, or half-ass ideas, or just like things like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I do it for a little bit, hit a little friction, and go, no, it's too tough, I give up. And it sucks because I can look back now at those things and say, wow, if I had just like busted my ass and worked a little harder at that and saw this all the way through, well, I mean, that could be paying off today. And it's kind of like looking at those little half-ass things, like, to really focus on, like, yes, starting projects is always so much fun. And like when I started like coding an app, for example, like, it's a lot of fun to start it. Then it kind of sucks when it gets tough and you're getting 1,000 errors and it's not compiling and it's not looking the way you want it to. And it's so easy to hit that little bit of friction and say, no, you know what, I never liked it anyway, didn't want to do it, what a stupid idea. You just gotta push through that stuff. If you push through it, 1, you're gonna become better because you're gonna learn, and 2, you're gonna actually start achieving things, and 3, I mean, who knows, maybe like that learning experience is what helps you develop into the next thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just see things through, man. Do not give these half-assed. Number 9 is stop worrying about the past and focus on the present and the future. We all do this. We give so much real estate and mind space and just like energy towards shit in the past that you literally cannot change. Like yeah, sure, you were at the bar one day and you burped on someone that you thought was really attractive. Okay, that happened, whatever. It doesn't mean you should be up at 3 a.m. thinking about it and going, oh my God, man, like, if I didn't burp on her, like, she could have been the one. She could have been, we don't know. No, stop giving this like valuable energy and real estate in your mind to shit you literally cannot change. What you should be doing is, God, something in my eye. What you should be doing is figuring out or like having an idea for what you want in life. So let's say you want to be a game developer, for example. Figure out what that game developer looks like and now start reverse engineering it. And what this means is, I'll say, okay, so game developer, they make games in Unity. Well, what's Unity written in? Okay, it's written in, C# whatever. Okay, well, how do I learn C#? Okay, I take a Udemy course. Okay, well, how do I start? And like, how do I find time to do the course? And you kind of like take this nugget of things you want to do and you break it down step by step until you find it. That's where your focus should be. Your focus should be on where you are now and where you want to go, not where you are now and the nonsense from before. Granted, take that back, a lot of learning experiences in the past, and you can think back and say, okay, I learned from X experience, and yeah, that's good. Like, that's sweet. It's good to learn from experiences. But man, this should not be your prime real estate. Prime real estate in your mind should not be shit you can't change. It should be stuff that you're trying to achieve later. Heck, not even later. Stuff you're trying to achieve right now. Number 10 is learning that it's okay to not be in the same place in your life that your friends are. I am notorious for comparing myself to others and thinking, well, my friends have a house and my friends, start a family, or my friend has this cool job, or my friend is making this much money, or like, it's so easy to look at what your friends are doing, compare yourself and think like, man, am I a loser? Am I doing something like wrong here? Did I make a mistake? Am I still making mistakes? Like, should I just give up on this so I can do that? Or like, it's so hard to not do that. But But like the big thing is understanding that everyone achieves things at their own pace. And people within your circle, your friends, your family, they have different values, and they'll value certain things differently than you will. Like you'll have, like, I have friends who straight out of school, they got married and started a family. I have other friends who they literally, the idea of starting a family and getting married and stuff is like 15 years from now kind of thing. And that doesn't mean that one's further ahead than the other. It just means they value something differently, and that's okay. So you don't have to worry about not being in the same place as your friends. It's, heck, they could, what they value, what they want to achieve, maybe they're not even doing that kind of thing. It's for to focus on what it is that you want and what it is that makes you happy. Number 11 is simple. Stop believing shit you see on social media. People only post stuff on social media that they want you to see. They only post the good moments in their life. Don't compare your life to it. Don't see your friends traveling and go like, oh my God, why do I never travel? Well, you know what? Maybe they have a different, financial resources than you do, or maybe they're going into crippling debt to go traveling. I don't know. It doesn't matter. People only post shit on social media they want you to see. So don't compare yourself to it. Number 12 kind of like goes back to what I was talking about before of saying like, the shit you do in your 20s, you pay for that. Those bills come due in your 30s. And it's basically to just build good habits now. And this is anywhere from like being healthy, or finishing projects, or doing what you say you're going to do, or for me, like stop biting your nails. Like it doesn't matter. Like little habits of things you want to change. And I mean, if you ever read the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it talks about this really core concept, which I've started using, and it really helped me, is that the idea of you're making these small incremental changes every single day, and you keep doing these small little things, and like you won't see it after a week, you won't see it after a month, you might not see it after 6 months, but 6 months in a day, you'll start to see the change. And the way they described it was really cool. So if you think of like water, for example, the freezing temperature of water in Canada is 0 degrees. So at -10, it's not melting. -9, it's not melting. And keep going. -8, -7, blah, 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 blah. -2, still not melting. -1, not melting. 0 degrees, it starts to melt. 1 degree, it's not really melting. 2 degrees, it's gone. And it's the concept that although you're only incrementing by 1 degree each time, which again, these small little increments, eventually you hit that breaking point and then it starts taking off. And the idea is that in your 20s, these are these small little increments. You might not see the result, but if you focus on these little good habits of building and constantly making those changes, that when you hit towards your later 20s, end of your 20s, and start working towards your 30s, you'll be so effective at things that you want to do. Number 13 is take ownership of your shit. And it's simple. Like, you are the creator of your own reality. You make the decisions to do the things you do each day. It's, yeah, sure. Are there external forces that help influence it? Of course. But you decide how you feel about something. You decide how you react to something. You decide what you say to someone. It's that simple. You are the creator of your reality. Focus on your shit. Number 14 is kind of an easy one too, and it's that make every moment count. You're gonna realize that, and I guess this kind of is contradictory to what I was saying before, don't focus things in the past, but you're gonna look back in the past and you're gonna look at things and think, what if I was a little more engaged in that? Or what if I decided to, spend more time with this person, or call my parents one more time? And I think, again, I don't want to sound somber, but it's similar to what we were talking about before, time being a resource that's, once it's been used, you can't get it back. And so when you do have those moments of, hang out with your grandparents, for example, or hang out, like something simple as going for a drink with some of your really good friends, like just be in that moment, really focus on it, put away your phone, put away social media, just like be in that moment and really make it count, because you don't know when those moments are going to be back, if they'll ever. Number 15 is understanding that people can't read your thoughts, so you need to learn to communicate effectively. And what effective communication means is that learn to express your ideas in a calm manner, in a thorough manner, and be confident to explain them. If something bugs you with one of your friends, bring it up and talk to them about it, and explain why it bugged you and ways in which you can, avoid it happening again. For example, to be angry at someone or hold a grudge because they couldn't figure out what you were thinking, well, that's just stupid. You are the one that's holding a grudge, so you're the one that's harvesting these negative feelings. They're not harvesting anything. They don't know. You think their day is ruined because you're holding a grudge? Probably not. They're probably thinking oh, this person's acting super weird today, but oh well, I'm going to continue on with my life. Learn to communicate, assume they can't read your mind, and Oh, it's gonna make your life so much easier. Number 16 is something that I wish I started sooner, and I only kind of started in the last, let's say, 2 years, but it's to start writing everything down. And I mean, like, write down the good moments, write down the bad moments, write down the like medium moments, I guess, if we're gonna do a whole spectrum there. But I mean, it's start writing things down. I'm not saying like do like a dear diary, today is Tuesday, I had McDonald's fries, they were great. I mean, you could write about it, like, I like McDonald's fries, hashtag not sponsored. But anyway, but the value of writing things down is that not only are you kind of keeping track of your progression in life, but it also allows you to kind of do checkbacks. For example, like, let's say you're going through, like, I don't know, a really tough time right now. You can check back when you're writing down ideas or feelings or thoughts when you were like killing it, and you can look back and be like, man, like, I was crushing it here. Like, what was I doing in this moment to crush it? And you can kind of help yourself get back into it. Matthew McConaughey's new book, Green Lights or whatever. I have it on Audible, haven't listened to it yet, but
it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
He kind of talks about that concept too, is that he has been writing a diary almost his entire life, and what he'll do is when moments when he's feeling off or he's not feeling like he's really being himself, he'll kind of look back at sections that he's written that were talking about when he was like in his when he was at his absolute best, for example, and kind of learn from that moment to help him continue to be in those great moments. And same thing when he's like in dark moments, and he'll look back at those dark moments and say, okay, well, what I do to get myself out of it, and you kind of learn from it. But I find I like writing things down, and I mean, I literally have this booklet that I keep with me at all times. Like, I have two actually. I have one that I write down like thoughts, feelings, and like general things to just kind of help me process ideas. And the second one's literally just pure ideas. I'll literally get up and I'll write idea 1, this, idea 2, and I'll just literally write just pure ideas. This is like more clear, concise, and that way, whatever I feel like I'm lacking inspiration, I can go back and read my ideas. Whenever I'm feeling off or feel like I'm not pursuing something or whatever it is, I can read my ideas. Number 17 is don't be a prick because no one likes them. Yeah, it's literally that. Don't be a prick. Like, nobody likes a prick. At the end of the day, every single interaction you do, whether it's online, whether it's in person, on the phone, I don't care. Whatever interaction you ever do, it's literally one person dealing with another person. How do you feel when someone's being a prick to you? You hate it. It sucks. So don't be a prick to others. It's literally that simple. If you put out good vibes towards people, sure, sometimes you aren't going to get back good vibes, but honestly, most of the time you're going to get pretty good vibes back. Number 18 is that life isn't as complicated as we make it. It's funny, like if you sit back and you look at a situation, for example, actually, here's the best way. So your friend comes to you with a problem and they say, boyfriend isn't texting me back as much as I'd like, or my girlfriend isn't texting me back, or she's not showing me as much affection as I would like her. I mean, not in a relationship, like my boss isn't giving me a promotion and I don't know what to do. You as like external person be like, well, okay, this is simple. Like, your boss not giving you a promotion. Okay, well, what were your yearly goals? Okay, well, did you achieve them? No. Okay, well, how do you achieve your yearly goals? Oh, you gotta, sell X amount of dollars. Okay, well, how do you get sales? Well, you gotta make X amount of phone calls. Like, you can kind of look back and be like, yeah, what felt like a really complicated situation of my boss will promote me, and what do I do? And I feel lost. Kind of simple. It's do, step 1 through 10 and you'll get there. Well, the same thing goes for your problems too. Like, what you're feeling and what it feels for you so complicated and you can't understand it, it's just the worst thing ever. It's a lot simpler than you think. And one of the, kind of talked before about writing things down. Like, take that step back, look at look at what's bugging you, and try and break it down and figure out, like, there's probably some pretty tangible steps you can take to rectify it, to understand it, or just kind of get past it. Number 19 is understand that the best knowledge you'll ever get, or the most effective knowledge you'll ever get, is from experience and not from books. And this goes for literally anything you learn. You're learning game dev, or you're learning coding, or you're learning to ride a bike, you're learning to play basketball. I don't care, whatever it is. You can read as many books as you want. You can watch as many tutorials as you want. You can literally study the aerodynamics of a bicycle. The only way you're gonna learn to ride a bike is if you actually get on and start pedaling and fall over a couple times and get back on and pedal again. Literally, the only way to truly learn something is by experience. If you want to, let's say you want to learn to start a business. Well, start a business then. Start small. That way you're not putting a ton of risk out there, obviously, but you're gonna learn a lot more from starting something and failing than you will from literally watching 1,000 tutorials on it. It's that simple. Like, the best education you will ever get is from experience, not by just reading about it. And last but not least, and number 20 is one that I personally have it took me a while to come to it, but honestly, I think it kind of changed my life the most. And it's understanding that you're under no obligation to be the person you are today that you were yesterday. And what that means is that you're welcome to change. You can wake up tomorrow and decide, I am done being this person. I'm now going to be this person. And that's totally fine. No one can tell you otherwise. wise. And I mean, that extends to others. Like, other people are allowed to change, and you kind of have to accept that. People are under no obligation to be who they were. If you want to change or become better, or literally just, you don't have to stay stagnant your whole life, and you don't have to, and others don't have to. And guess what? You don't have to ask for permission to do that, and you don't have to apologize for doing that either. All right, guys, that's it. Happy birthday to me. You know, 20s are done. Ooh, armpit hair. That's the 20 things I learned in my 20s. It's weird. It really is. It's weird to know that that decade of my life is done, but honestly, I'm kind of excited because I know that these next 10 years are gonna be the best 10 years of my life because of the shit I've learned and the shit I've experienced. And I mean, I gotta stop swearing. Obviously, that's kind of a key thing we're gonna have to learn in the next 10 years, but the stuff that I've gone through and the stuff to experience and the stuff that you're gonna go through and the stuff that you're going to experience and the stuff that you're gonna learn is gonna change so much over these next few years. And the person you are today watching this video and the person you're gonna be later in your 20s, in your 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it is, the things you learned in your 20s and experience and do, it shapes who you are later in life. And I know that the things you're doing now are only gonna lead to big things later on. So guys, if you like this video or you like the style of the video, I know it's super different than just playing music while I type on my keyboard, then please let me know. Comment, like, subscribe, toss me some comments below and let me know what else you'd like me to do, or if you want to do more of this talking, or if you want me to just go back to, you know, playing music over my videos. Anyway guys, thank you again for watching, and I look forward to catching you next time.
All right.